Caitlin Clark, right? Like she's lighting things up. She's probably made more in NIL money or could potentially make more. The money in the WNBA is non-existent.
Right.
Right? Like,
but she could change that.
But can she?
Something reportedly happened behind closed doors in Indiana that has sparked a lot of discussion among fans and media personalities. According to several podcasters and online commentators, there may have been a private meeting at the headquarters of Pacers Sports and Entertainment involving team leadership connected to the Indiana Fever. The rumored participants included team owner Steve Simon, head coach Stephanie White, and senior executives. None of the details have been officially confirmed, but speculation suggests the conversation may have focused on the direction of the franchise. If even part of those reports were accurate, it could help explain why some fans have noticed changes in the team's rotation choices, playing style, and overall identity. Much of the discussion centers on one key figure, Caitlin Clark, widely viewed as one of the most influential rookies in women's basketball history.
I feel like your two Iowa teams left a mark on women's college basketball, but also women's basketball at large. Is that like kind of crazy to think about? Like you were a part of something that was a catalyst for this like larger group.
I had heard about this Caitlin Clark and I was like watching videos of her just like having like 40 points, like averaging.
To understand why rumors about such a meeting attract attention, it helps to look at how the Fever organization is structured. The team is part of the larger business group that also owns the Indiana Pacers. Both teams operate under Pacers Sports and Entertainment, which is controlled by the Simon family. The company is connected to Simon Property Group, one of the largest mall operators in the United States. At the top of the ownership structure is Herb Simon, a longtime figure in Indiana business. However, many day-to-day decisions are often associated with his son, Steve Simon, who serves as vice chairman of the organization. Because ownership groups ultimately control budgets, marketing strategy, and long-term direction, any suggestion that they held a strategic meeting about the team's future naturally draws attention. When Caitlin Clark entered the league, she immediately became one of the most talked-about athletes in women's sports. Her arrival generated strong television ratings, record merchandise sales, and a dramatic jump in ticket demand for Indiana Fever games. Many analysts credited her long...
Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier were named WNBA All-Star captains for this year's WNBA All-Star Game. The captains were chosen via fan vote, and Caitlin Clark received 1.29 million All-Star votes this year.
Range shooting and fast-paced style for drawing new audiences to the WNBA. For a time, nearly every highlight from Indiana games circulated widely on social media. Because of that surge in visibility, Clark quickly became both a basketball centerpiece and a major marketing asset for the franchise and the league. Later, when Stephanie White took over as head coach, she emphasized a more structured offensive system built around teamwork and ball movement rather than relying heavily on one star player. From a traditional basketball perspective, that approach is widely respected because it can create a balanced and sustainable team structure. Under that system, Clark's role at times appeared more focused on facilitating the offense rather than taking a large number of deep shots. Supporters of the coaching strategy pointed out that the team improved competitively and returned to the playoffs after several difficult seasons. However, some fans felt that the style reduced the high-energy moments that originally made the team so widely watched.
2 turnovers in a row, and Steph yanked me, and she was like, this is like a learning moment. Do we need that in this moment? Like, no. Right. And then she subbed me back in. There was a play where I kind of got a steal, and like we're going in transition, and Kelsey Mitchell just like takes off down the middle of the floor. And so there's like 2 people kind of by her, and I literally like go to grab the ball, and then I like just dribble out.
The rumors about the alleged meeting began circulating after comments made during online fan streams and sports podcasts. According to those unverified reports, executives may have discussed whether the franchise should place a stronger strategic focus on Clark as both a player and a marketing centerpiece. The idea, reportedly summarized by some commentators as CCT, meaning Caitlin Clark's team, suggested a shift toward building the brand and playing style more directly around her strengths. It's important to note that no official statement from the team or ownership has confirmed such a directive. Still, the discussion highlights a common tension in professional sports: balancing coaching philosophy with the commercial realities of having a superstar athlete. Even without confirmation of the rumored meeting, fans have tried to interpret recent public signals. Some noticed that Stephanie White has often praised teammates such as Kelsey Mitchell for their role in the offense, emphasizing a collective approach. At the same time, observers believe the franchise is...
I think it's a really big thing that Diana Taurasi got on the mic and she said these things about Clark after. It kind of, I don't know if it's going to change the viewpoint of Caitlin Clark from a lot of these old bitter, all these old bitter Bettys that are still in the league.
Broader strategy may increasingly revolve around Clark's popularity and influence. In professional sports organizations owned by major investors, financial considerations, ticket sales, media deals, and sponsorships often play a significant role in strategic decisions. Because Clark has demonstrably boosted visibility and revenue for the franchise, it is not surprising that fans speculate about how ownership might want to maximize that impact. Still, without official confirmation, the reports remain speculation. If the Fever organization does decide to emphasize Clark even more in the future, it could affect many aspects of the franchise. Marketing campaigns, sponsorship deals, and offensive schemes might naturally revolve around one of the league's most recognizable players. At the same time, successful teams typically rely on strong collaboration among multiple stars. Teammates such as Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell remain key pieces.
You don't understand how hard it was for me to not throw that. And she's like, oh, I know, trust me. Everybody was like, we saw you about to throw that. But I think it's just like kind of a learning process.
This clip bothered me because if you watch that play where she didn't pass Kelsey the ball after Coach Stephanie White benched her for having a few turnovers in a row, that would have been a momentum shift.
Of Indiana's lineup and maintaining locker room balance is always important. For now, the rumored meeting remains unverified, but the conversation around it highlights how much attention Clark has brought to the franchise. Whether or not any internal directive was given, her presence has undeniably shifted the spotlight onto the Indiana Fever. What happens next, both on the court and within the organization, will likely shape the next chapter of the team's future. But the story doesn't end there. If the balance of power inside Indiana really is shifting, the next question becomes even bigger. What happens inside the team now? How are the players in the locker room reacting to all of this? Will the coaching staff fully embrace the idea of building around Caitlin Clark, or could more changes be coming within the organization? And most importantly, if the Fever truly move toward becoming a team centered around Clark, what will that mean for the style of play, the leadership hierarchy, and the overall direction of the franchise next season? In the next part, we'll break down the possible ripple effects of this rumored power shift and why it could shape not just the future of the Indiana Fever, but the trajectory of the entire WNBA.